So that was Jim. He's the guy that's gonna rent the place. Stopping by just to see how things are progressing. Things are looking good. We already went through the master bedroom. So I'm gonna turn off power and fans as we leave. Point out things that need to be done still. Everywhere you look, the baseboard's gonna need to be sanded and painted. But the floor looks decent. I got a lot of these lips on here. Nose pieces. And I'm just using this painter's tape to put it in place. I want to make sure everything is cut and positioned before I actually glue it, and use a minimum amount of nails. I don't want anything to show. I want it to look really good. There you go. I've got some texturing I need to do on these walls. I put this tape on the wall, Jenny and I did, so that we could point out like this texturing isn't that great. And of course the windows, I'm gonna have to take a razor blade and clean all that. Get back here with my ladder, take that and clean it up. Anyway, let's go into here. The paint that got splashed over, I'm gonna need to acetone scrub. I've got my big scrubber machine I put in the garage after I got done doing the kitchen. My electric rotary 8-inch. It's a little home model. It works really well. And I'm going to scrub all this. I'm going to bring this back up, cut a hole in this. I'm going to use the caulking and get it all sealed in there. Take the tube, put it in there. Washer and dryer coming here on the 28th. Today's the 25th. So 3 days. And I've got all new appliances for the kitchen, for the laundry room, for everywhere. It's going to look great. This is still filthy. That's still filthy. Everything else looks pretty good. Yeah, this needs to be cleaned up. There's some paint. Yeah, some paint overage here. I'm gonna get a maid service come in, have these all taken down and cleaned. This one isn't that bad, but the other ones are terrible, these Venetian blinds. Gonna bring all down. Oh, these ones stable, that's good. This needs to be textured. Previously a big hole in the wall punched. Sanded out, but needs to be textured with the texture spray. And then repainted. There's some blue that shows through because this was that awful blue room, you may remember. And it's such powerful blue that it's actually showing through, which I should have used primer because it's 1/3 the price. So whatever, I'll just go over it again. And this room was teal, and during the sunlight you can see the same bleed over with teal. Should have used primer. And the same thing, needs to be cleaned up. Things need to be cleaned up. And yeah, the outside of this window, I might do that myself, or I might have that cleaning service do it. I'm starting to get tired. Same thing with the transitions, I need to put them all in. That's a simple cut. And then a glue caulking, put it in, no problem. I've got these, why would anybody take like a saw or some sort of a blade and cut? You can't even see it. Obviously I can't run a camera and do the thing at the same time. See these 3 cuts? Boom, boom, boom. Somebody decided, I don't know how they did it. I think that a rotary saw would have made much wider holes than these. But it's just going to be car Bondo. I might have to open up those holes a little bit, or maybe I can just squeeze the Bondo in here. Bondo, sand, that white ivory paint, auto paint, and that's the way it's going to do. Yay, wall texturing. I got a lot of it done, but I still got some spots that I need to do. Let's see. That's almost acceptable. I keep on getting this whole, it's just a rental attitude going on now. I think when you get tired enough, like if you've ever moved, which most of us have, near the middle of your move, you start throwing things away like, I don't need this, I don't need this. And you start to lose the joy for it because you get your timeline, your deadline, and you start to panic like, oh, let's just get this done. I don't really want that to happen to me, but it's bound to happen. Okay, I didn't really want to turn that off yet, did I? I want to be able to show you these stairs. I bought some, these stairs, they're not really in there. Oh, I already said that. I told you about that. I just placed them in there. I haven't glued them or nailed them or screwed them or anything. So there you go. I have to get all of these lips. You see the nose piece isn't nearly thick enough to cover it up. And once the stone goes in, here's a piece I have in place there. You see there's like a 1/4 of an inch or an 1/8 of an inch, just a little space between the two. So I've decided that I'm going to sand it out and then put some texture on there that matches the stone. And I think that's going to look okay. It's what I'm going to have to go with because the stone can't go up to the nose. It just, if I were to take a router and grind it off, then that would make the nose itself, for stepping purposes, just too weak. So I'd rather go with a nice stable surface and just paint it to try to match the stone. I think it's going to come out okay. I can't think of anything else to do except to take these floorboards, cut about a 1/2 inch strip, and then stick it to there so that the nose looks like it's a big extended hook nose type thing that covers up this whole ridge. But I could do that after I painted it. After I painted it and put the stone up there and had everything cut out, if I decided, you know what, I don't like it, I'm gonna make it a wood extended nose, I could cut a whole bunch of those pieces and then use some construction glue, cement, whatever, this junk, this heavy duty stuff, and I could put them in place. But I think that I won't. It's a rental, and I think he's just gonna have to live with the way it is. I mean, if ever I were to say, I'm gonna live here, I wanna make it perfect, then I might actually go to that. But the truth is it might actually look better painted than, wow, talk about a verbose video. Too much talking. Got 22.5 degree cuts here so that I can put the stone and do 22.5 degree angle cuts on the stone as well as the nose pieces. And these are all just placed up here and tacked around with my jigsaw that I do these little fun little designs in the round pieces. And yeah, got my rotary saw, but I've also got my downside, you'll see it, just a regular, it's a mini table saw that allows me to more accurately cut stuff. Got almost all the stairs done. I haven't got the landings done, as you can see, but those should be easy. I might actually do those after I get the stone in. I got this wall almost done, and I'm fighting with myself. See, I have to cut those pieces. I have to get this all finished. It's gonna look great. Let me get way back here so that we can get a good perspective shot. Boom, there it is. So that's gonna look great. It's gonna match, of course, the stone that you see on the stairway risers. And I know this is stupid, but I am gonna go around to this wall here. But I'm only gonna go around this much of it. And everybody tells me, yeah, that's dumb, but I don't know, I want a pocket. I want it to come across, here from that corner, all the way through there, and then just come across that much. And then just go all the way up and then make just boom, like that, right? So it's like a stoned L. And people just, no, because then that makes it look fake. Whereas if you just have this wall, then it has the illusion that it's solid, that it's a solid stone. But I don't think anybody's buying it. I mean, look at the windows. You can see that there's sheetrock. I mean, I don't really have a way to finish that off unless I want to go stone cut crazy. and then enclose all of this with stone. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. That's too much, though it would probably look pretty good if I did. But then what do I do with the top? I would have to take off that blind. I'd have to reposition it about 1/2 inch lower, and of course cut it so that it's not so wide. Cut it on both sides, just 1/4 inch on each side, so it would make room for the stone. And it would look pretty good. Might be too late now that I've left about 1/8 or 1/4 inch here. If I put the stone, then you'd still see it. Then I'd have to put little stone pieces all the way up. I don't know. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Like I keep saying, this is a $200,000 rental. I don't think it's worth all this customization. I've already spent enough for the stone itself, and the labor is pretty intensive. So I think that I'm just gonna come around here. See, I got the baseboard torn off and a couple pieces down there. And I might just start building up right to the top here. I like it. And I know that other people are thinking, no, that's not the way you do it. That is just not the way you do it. I'm going to do it anyway. And if I lived here, if it was my house that I actually lived in, I guess it's my house, but it's a rental, then I would probably do a backsplash for the whole exposed area. See, the refrigerator is going to go there. So that little space there, and then that whole corner there, I'd probably do a backsplash right here by the sink and right here where the radio is plugged in. Probably do the backsplash. I probably would do it, but I am not going to do it. I mean, that's something that if it gets really messy and I decide, oh, I'm not just going to take a rag and clean the paint off or have people do it for me, then I can do it later. I can just say, forget it. Let's put a backsplash on there. I don't know. How am I going to really match the stone of a backsplash? And you probably could do it, or not match it, contrast it, make it look good. Too much. I'm getting tired of this fun little project. It's not fun anymore. More caulking work that needs to be done. There's a lot of caulking work, as you can see, that needs to be done. Baseboards, of course, I keep mentioning that. More caulking work. Look at this horrible. What were they thinking? They just left a big bead. This actually, I could take my caulking cutter and I could just shave it and probably even keep it in place without using more caulking. I could probably just shave it down. Maybe I'll try that, and if it doesn't work, I can re-caulk it. Whatever. Gotta do the ceiling. That line is too apparent. Needs to be textured a little bit and then painted, because I've got two paints. I've got the flat on this side, and I've got the semi-gloss latex on that side, because that's what I've done for the whole kitchen. That's why it has that little sheen to it. Of course, that's what I'm doing with all of the baseboards too. It's of course coffee or Swiss coffee white on Swiss coffee white. So the baseboards are all going to be the semi-gloss, and the walls are the latex, and the ceilings are the flat. And I wish I would have just used the latex on the walls and the ceiling. I was told to go with flat on the ceiling because it has better cover-up flaw qualities, but that if you touch it, which, it's a ceiling, you're not going to touch it, but it doesn't hold up as well. And I'm thinking I should have just gone with one. But the semi-gloss with the Swiss coffee on all the baseboards, the doors, the casings, that's not such a bad idea, but I wish I would have gone with the gloss. I know, stupid, huh? Because the semi-gloss, it gives you a little bit of a sheen, but I wish it would stand out just a little bit more from the rest of the white. I think I should have maybe gone with the gloss. But yeah, so gotta do the stonework. There's a lot of cleaning that needs to be done. I'm gonna take my power washer in the garage and bring it up here and get her done. I got the floor done a few days ago. I'm almost ready for the appliances. It's almost ready. I need to get that caulked. I might paint that, or I might not. The baseboard there, because hey, the refrigerator's there anyway. And as you can tell, the stove doesn't have a baseboard at all. Why should it? See, I didn't even paint back there. where the washing machine goes, or yeah, dishwasher. And no baseboard, of course. And I'm just gonna slide it in there. Who cares if it's a little bit dirty and if it's the old paint? Who cares? It's the dishwasher. Nobody's ever gonna care about that anyway. So that's the monster I've become. But I mean, hey, if this was like my only house and I lived here, I don't think I would care about it then either. I talked to Charles, and of course he wants the world. He wants, hey, give me this and give me that too, which is fine. He's a renter. He wants as much as he can get for his money. But I think that he would like me to put in an RO system, reverse osmosis. But I'm not going to, because that's a maintenance item. It's got filters and it's got things that renters, if they want them, and I would highly recommend it, take out this emergency exhaust for the dishwasher. Put a nice RO system in there. You can buy them at Costco for about $250. Stick it under the sink and you got nice RO water. But for me, it's RODI. You got to put the deionization in there. It takes the parts per million and then it brings it down to about 1 part per million. It starts off at about 550 here in Las Vegas parts per million tap water. The RO system brings that down to about 45. But then the DI, with or without RO, acts as a direct filtration system that brings it right down to almost 0. Now, if you don't have your RODI and you go straight into if you don't have an RO or reverse osmosis and you go straight into a deionization system, then you're going to wear out your DI stuff really fast because it's going to suck out the minerals. It's going to suck out the impurities very quickly as well. Even if you didn't have RO, but it's a very costly way of cleaning water. So go through the RO, let it do as good as a job it can, then stick it through the DI, and let me tell you, it tastes like mountain spring water. It tastes like you're on the top of Mount Rainier and it's fresh glacier or snow melt. It tastes great. I've really spoiled Jenny with it because I'm a big RODI fan. So anyways, you probably remember I replaced this window. It's looking great. The tracks, we got it all cleaned out. It's just gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice place. And I got my hole cutting tools there. I'm gonna go home now. Hey, there it is. I wonder if Jenny put this multi-purpose primer up here. There it is. Multi-purpose primer. Cool, I got my smoke detectors and my there it is. I was looking for that and it's right in front of my face. That's just kind of the way it is for me. Got my drink, I'm ready to go. Let's go downstairs, do a quick looky-see. Turn off these lights. Boopy. Ooh, scary. Maybe I should have turned off the lights when I got. These are loose steps, so I have to take them one at a time because the nose pieces aren't welded into position yet. See, Jim left, so I need to lock the door behind him. Yippee. Oh, see, there you go. It's gonna look great. Stone goes in either tomorrow or the next day, depending on what I want to hit next. I don't want to fall on my bottom. All right, so back to this room. As you can see, this lamp looks a lot better than that blue gross one did a long time ago that's now sitting in the garage on top of the old refrigerator. This is all done in here. Of course, the baseboards ain't wall texturing. It looks good enough. It's not completely textured, as you can see, but it's a closet and it's a rental. So that's 2 reasons enough for me to say good enough. Yeah, bathroom. Everything looks good in here, actually. It's just needs to be cleaned up. Transition pieces. I've got a big chip in the stone here. Here, if you want to see it. I don't know why you would, but here you go. But I'm hoping that the transition piece is going to cover that, and it might not be long enough. then either I'm going to take some matching caulking, try to match it. I'm certainly not going to take that whole stone piece out and put another one in. Again, it's a rental. Here we are in the garage, ready to go home. Got all my stones out here. Still got enough wood to not only finish the landings on the stairways, but too much. I think that I bought too much, so I'll take some of it back to Costco. Probably keep 200 square feet for emergencies, whatever. Haven't done the garage. I got some bills. I got some painting to do. I got the garage door all fixed. That was a project. I didn't know it would be that much work, but it was. Here's my wonderful little power washer. Once it's all painted and things are cleaned out, I'm gonna do a final hose off of everything, and it'll be ready to rent. Yay! Grab a muscle milk. Get out of here. Ugh. So there's a little midway looky-see, but I think it's gonna look good once it's all done. Cheater's notes. Oh, I need to replace this tree. This tree died. Yeah. Need to go get a new one because I think that's a very cool looking tree. Everything else looks really great in the yard. Not an easy time to see. How long is this video? 20 minutes of pure boredom? Holy crap. I'm out of here.